Again, this is going to be the second part of our sheep brain anatomy video, and we're going to jump right in, starting about the dorsal deep structure of the brain. And so we're going to take a look at the midbrain. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and gently separate the cerebrum, which is this area of the brain here, the majority or large portion of the brain is known as the cerebrum. This area back here known as the cerebellum. So if we go ahead and separate them, you look inside here, and what we can see, let me bring it more into focus, is we can see that there are structures beneath. The structures beneath is known as the corpora quadrigemina, or quadrigemina. And if you look at it this way, if you look at it like this, you can actually visualize what are known as the superior and the inferior colliculi. Now, in order to better point those out, let me get my pen here. So right here, if you can see where my pen is at, that would be known as the superior colliculi. Directly beneath it, you have the, and my pen fell out, but directly beneath it, you have the inferior colliculi. Now, aside from those, there is the pineal body, which is located just anterior to the superior and inferior colliculi. And it's this structure right here that I have my pen in, see? That is the pineal body. Now, inside of the brain, you have some more structures of note, one of which is the lateral ventricle. The lateral ventricle is located right, it's inferior to the corpus callosum, and it is superior, or actually more or less transverse or adjacent to the fornix. So this area right here, I'm going to open it up a little bit for you. That, see, that is the lateral ventricle. And beneath that, what we have, or inferior to that, we have the intermediate mass of the thalamus. And there you actually have the thalamus right there, and then below it you have the hypothalamus. Okay. Next we'll move on to the cerebral peduncle. In the cerebral peduncle, you want to look at it from here, is this area, let me get it into focus, right there, and you can see it on the brain on the inferior view right there. Okay? Alright, next up we're going to move on to the pons. I may have already described this, but the pons is the area that is located right next to right next to the superior and inferior colliculi. So that right there that I'm pointing to you is the pineal body. The medulla oblongata, we've already kind of discussed that area here, and the pons, which is that area here. And then from there, we're going to go to the fourth ventricle. Now, the fourth ventricle is actually located within the area of the cerebellum. So, if you look at the cerebellum here, I'm going to go ahead and bring it closer, and I'm going to pull it and tease it a little bit. Now, you see that area right there, that fissure there, that area is known as the fourth ventricle. And right, next to the cerebellum, what we have are the two structures we described previously, the superior and the inferior colliculi. The corpora quadrigemina is the area that is the whole of those two. And then finally you have the cerebellum. The cerebellum has an area in it known as the arbor vitae. Now, if I take and bring this close to you, the arbor vitae, see how that area within the cerebellum looks kind of like a tree with branches coming out? That white area is known as the arbor vitae. This area is responsible for conducting sensory and motor information from the cerebellum to the brain, or rather to the cerebrum and the rest of the brain. So there you have it. That is the presentation that we have on the sheep's brain. Thank you very much for watching. God bless.